Hello. We read Proverbs 27 and Jeremiah 51 today. So from Jeremiah 51, pretty much the whole chapter, because like a whole city was about to be destroyed, and like everybody was gonna be killed and whatnot. So it's good to be thankful that he wasn't like born back then, and that God had mercy, and that he sent Jesus to die for your sins, because it would have been a lot worse back then for you, especially with a lot of stuff that we do and that we normalize now. So yeah, it's good to be thankful, but to not take it for granted.
Amen. Also in that long chapter, Jeremiah 51, it talked about the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God, through the pulling down of strongholds. Well, that's in the New Testament. But in this chapter, it talks about in verse 19, the Lord of hosts. When you see that, that means the Lord of armies. That means that he is your main defender. And in another version, it says, he's the one, he's the team. And with him, that's the majority. So you don't have anything to worry about. And then in verse 20, it says, you are my war club and my weapon for battle. And in the King James Version, it says, you, Lord, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. So we know that there's a lot going on out here. You might be alone. You might think that you're the underdog. You might think that you're single and you are a statistic, but take the Lord on your side. And earlier today in chapter 50, remember verse 34, I really never paid attention to this verse. Their Redeemer, our Redeemer, my Redeemer, that means my rescuer, my defender is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. We see that in Isaiah 54:5, right? Your husband is your maker. No matter what's your gender, your creator. He is the Lord of hosts. He is your protection, your defense. And he shall thoroughly plead your cause, no matter what situation you find yourself. And he'll give rest to the land. All right, what about Proverbs?
Verse 23, whatever that says. I don't remember what it says, but
Proverbs 27:23 says, be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks and look well to thy herds. That's King James Version.
yeah. So that's a good scripture, because if you have like kids, or if you are like a teacher, I don't know, like, or if you're a parent, whatever, you have more than one child, it's not good to place your focus on one child, because I don't know, there's like, regardless of their gender or like their age or whatever, like that's not a good smart thing to do. So it's good to place the emphasis on every child equally, because that affects them, you know, like the way they grow up and how they view adults and authorities. It's just it can be a good thing or a bad thing.
Explain how they view adults and authority.
It just depends how you parent, or how you assert your dominance on your child, or your lack of dominance on your child, or your lack of authority in your child's life. Like, if they don't have any structure in their home, then they're not going to respect authority, like when they're outside of your home. So
that is so important for us to do, and God will reveal